So are you ready to hit the road again?
I'm ready. I'm anxious. I think this is going to be a great trip.
I think so too.
And I don't know, I mean, it just seems like it's been a long time since the last trip, and it's been a long time planning this one.
Right. How long have we've been back longer than usual this time, right?
Yeah, it'll be over 4 months.
Wow. For us, that's a long time.
Yeah. And I started planning it,
Right.
probably that long ago. I took a few breaks, that were,
Right.
didn't constantly work on it, but
So everything's planned now.
yeah, we have reservations, hotel reservations for every night for the trip, which is not always the case.
Right.
Sometimes the end of the trip, we're just doing it as we go, but
Right.
yeah, and
So let's see, we should probably give a little bit of an overview. We're going to be gone
exactly 7 weeks.
and we're going to Northern Europe. So we're leaving earlier than usual. We're leaving in mid-August. Right?
Yeah, first of all, it's a little shorter trip. I mean,
Right.
the last one was over 9 weeks, and this one's 7. And it's earlier than usually our fall trip is September, October,
Right.
into November.
Right.
And this year we're leaving mid-August, but that's because...
And it's shorter, so we'll be back early October, right?
Yeah, we'll be back early.
Yeah.
But we needed to move it up because we're going to be up north. I think we're 8 days above the Arctic Circle.
Wow.
So you don't want to do that in the winter.
No, you sure don't.
Or even late fall, or
Yep.
even early fall, probably. I mean, you want to get it up there before it gets cold and snowy. And
Right.
that sort of
And dark.
thing. And dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And we're traveling with our friends Roger and Gail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, well, they're there before we are.
By like 4 hours, right?
Yeah, something like that. But I mean,
We all meet in Oslo, right?
It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice that we just start off the trip and
Yeah, we'll all have jet
they're
lag together.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen them since, we never see them in the United States. We only see them in Europe,
No,
basically.
So
That'll be good.
that'll be good.
Yep. Okay, so we start in Oslo and we end in Amsterdam, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the first part's all in Norway, Sweden, and Finland.
Yes.
We start in Oslo and we go to Bergen.
Right. That's I guess just one stop in between, but it's
Okay.
train, bus, train to get to Bergen.
Wow, okay. And then we have a
Then we'll-
cruise.
Yeah, we're on some boat. What's it called? Wait.
It's
Hold on.
called the Havila Polaris for 4 nights, going up the Norwegian coast, right?
Yeah, it's called the Havila Polaris, or Polaris. Yeah. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we've done taken a boat up the coast of Norway. Last time it
Right.
was 7 days, this time it's 4, but it was a different company.
Right.
I mean, there was only one company before, Hurtigruten, but now there's this,
So
which
they've got-
Havila, they kind of
So
split
do
the
they
business.
alternate days or something?
Well, they don't never run on the same day.
Okay.
I mean, Hurtigruten used to run every day. It's a 13-day round trip.
Up to basically around the top of Norway, almost to Russia.
Yeah,
then-
and back, and they had 13 ships or boats doing it, so one left every day. Now, there's less service with 2 companies. I mean, I think Hurtigruten has like 6 ships, and Havila has 4, and so even together they don't quite
Right, right.
have.
And we're not going as far this time. We're getting off in Narvik.
Yeah.
Which I never realized. So Narvik is up at the top there, but it's,
We start here, go up the coast to here.
right.
Maybe you can print this map on the.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
And interesting, I didn't realize this, but Narvik was the first town in Norway that,
Narvik.
first town that Germany invaded during World War II in Norway, because it's a big iron ore region, apparently. We watched a movie about this just recently, so I've known a lot more about Narvik.
Yeah,
So
they
that should be
they
interesting.
exported iron ore, which was mined our next stop. Or,
Okay.
you know.
And it's not that far across from one side of Norway to the other there, right? It's one of the
Oh, no, it's
thinnest
not.
parts of the,
Yeah.
yeah. So then we get off in Narvik, and from there we make our way through Sweden into Finland, down to Helsinki.
yeah,
You wanna tell me about that part of the trip?
Well, from Narvik, we take a, I should say that was probably the hardest part to plan because of transportation.
So we don't have a car at all, is
No,
that right?
no. We're taking the train, the first segment, and I think it leaves in the evening, but, you know, it goes all the way down to, you know, halfway down south, mostly south into Sweden. But I didn't want to take a night train because
So you
what do
could
you
go
see?
from Narvik all the way down into Sweden.
Yeah, you could probably go from Narvik all the way down to like here and a ferry across to get to Finland. But I didn't want to do that when I first saw that. You know, it's at night. What are you going to see?
Right,
I mean,
right.
well, why are they there?
Right.
I'm not sure if you see much anyway. I mean, I don't think it's it's forest
Right.
and it's flat.
I think it'll still be pretty.
So there aren't really mountains most of that area.
Right, right.
And, you know, I mean, you see trees.
So you booked it going straight kind of south into Finland.
Yeah, more east. We're still going southeast, but we're not going south.
Okay.
And so we're taking that train, but just into Sweden. And then from there we take a bus. And that bus didn't initially work out because it runs Monday through Friday, 5 days a week.
Okay.
One bus, one time, 5 days a week. And we were originally like we were there on a Saturday or something. So I had to make some adjustments. And then we take that bus across Sweden. And then we have a house that we rented that's almost it's in Sweden, but it's real near the border with Finland. Spent a couple days there. And then once we get across into Finland, there's a rail line that runs north-south. And, you know, during the summer, there's several trains a day, 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I didn't know what it was going to be when we were there,
Right.
which is like September 1st or something, right?
Yep.
And I even called them and, you know,
It's too soon.
too soon. We don't really know what trains are going to run 6 months from now, you know. It
Right.
hasn't been determined. So I kept hoping, but then it ended up, and it ended up that actually the closest spot to catch the train wasn't even a train a day. And again, it was there wasn't anything on the day
That you want to go.
that we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So there's another spot where you can catch the train. The north-south line goes up and then it splits. So that where we're at, there's 2 lines, although they merge.
Right.
You know, so the closest line didn't work out. So then we have to get to the other one, and then it's a night train. You know, they have a one-a-day night train.
So that's what we're going to do at that point.
At that point, we've delayed things to make the
To see all that
transportation.
countryside and everything, yeah.
Now we're kind of, you know, we need to, at some point, okay, let's cover some territory.
And the town, we got a thing from one of the places we're staying about all the activities because
Yeah.
we have hiking and fishing.
Right.
And is that one of those towns before we take the train?
Yeah, that's the one in Sweden, but almost on the border.
And is that the one that considers itself the North Pole or Santa's Workshop?
No, that's in Finland.
Oh, that's in Finland.
That's actually, where we catch the train.
Okay.
Santa's Village, I don't know.
Okay.
It's very popular, apparently a very popular tourist area.
Cool. Okay.
Probably
so we
not.
might see Santa.
We might. I mean, we might. Really?
Cool.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, and we should mention that in Finland, so Roger was an exchange student when he was in high school.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Summer.
in Finland. And his Finnish brother, the brother for the family he lived with while he was there, and he have stayed in touch, and we're going to spend a couple nights with them. Is that right?
Yes.
That should be
And
very
Turku,
cool.
or
Looking
I
forward
don't,
to that.
I'm probably
Yeah.
not pronouncing that.
Yeah, we
right.
need to learn all our pronunciations.
Yeah, my Finnish is just horrible. You know?
Yeah, I didn't know you spoke any Finnish.
I don't.
We have to learn how to say please, thank you, and good morning, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
And maybe count to 4 or something.
something.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, and as I understand, the Finnish language is not. It's you know, very distinct. You know, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish all have some commonality. I mean, they're very different too, but they have some commonality, and I guess Finnish is just totally different.
It's its own language, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think a high percentage of the population also speaks English
Okay.
as their second language. So
And then we spent a few nights in Helsinki.
yeah, a couple nights in
And
Helsinki.
then we take a ferry across from Helsinki across
Well,
to...
Roger and Gail fly out.
Oh, that's right. They leave us at that point.
They leave us at that point.
So that will be 3 weeks in, right?
Exactly 3 weeks that they're with us on that whole
That's
Scandinavia
cool. Yeah.
loop or whatever, and
Right,
yeah,
so they fly home from Helsinki and we take the ferry across the Gulf of Finland.
yeah, the Gulf of Finland to Estonia,
Tallinn, right?
Tallinn, Estonia, right?
Right, and I looked it up, it's about a 3-hour and 15-minute boat ride. So, should be
And
interesting.
yeah, and that, you know, there's several ferries a day, or at
Right,
least.
right.
There's 3 different companies. Each boat makes 2 round trips, so a
Right.
day. So
And then we visit Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, which we visited before, but when we were there before, it was at the end of the trip, probably October, November, something like that. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of cold weather and
Yeah.
snow.
it was the very end
And
of our trip. Yeah,
The lakes and stuff were frozen, so this, we're hoping it'll be a little bit warmer, because we really enjoyed it last time.
yeah, we did.
But I think it'll be a different experience.
And last time we spent 8 days between the 3 countries, and this time just 6, just
Right.
2, 2, 2. And last time we traveled by bus, and it worked out fine. So that's what we're doing again. And then we take a bus into Poland, spend the night, take another bus to Gdansk.
Gdansk, up on the Baltic, right?
Yeah,
Or up in the north, anyway.
yeah, and I guess it's, yeah,
I
North-
think there's
north-
like a Lech Walesa museum and stuff there that should be very interesting.
right. And then from there, we rent a car.
So that'll be the first car of the trip.
First car of the trip, which is pretty unusual. That
Yes.
we, you know, are 5 or 6 weeks into the trip and we haven't rented a
And
car.
how long will we have it for?
I think that one is 9 days,
Okay.
and we do a kind of a loop. We go spend a little bit of time in Poland, then go into Germany, and then we go back to Poland to return the car. It's a different city.
Poznan, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
your Polish accent's very good. How'd you say it?
I said Poznan, but it probably is nothing like
Is it
that.
is it PA or PO?
I thought it was P.O., Poznan.
Poznan. That's how I
Okay.
okay.
We'll look it up.
Okay,
in
now
every
this
minute
we
of-
need to work on our Finnish and our Polish.
Yeah,
Probably a few other things
yeah,
in there too.
yeah,
Okay. We got time though, right?
yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. And then what? Then we
So
return
we
that
return
car.
the car in Poznan,
Yeah.
and we go to Hanover.
Yeah.
And why aren't we going to Berlin?
Yeah. Well, then we return the car, and we're on the main train line, you know, that goes from Warsaw to, I don't know, Amsterdam, I guess. Maybe, yeah, might go farther, I don't know. But, and then kind of halfway, because we're going to the Netherlands, about halfway is Berlin. I thought, well, you know, that part of Germany, we've only stayed in Berlin. We were traveling by train, and we stopped for a couple days. So it's more of, it's the halfway point, we'll just stop there. And when I looked at hotels, they were really expensive
In Berlin,
in Berlin. So I figured there must be
a convention or something.
a convention or a sports event
Right.
or a Taylor Swift concert or something big going on.
Yeah.
Because everything was just sky high. And and that was toward the end of September, like the last week of September. And then you can, you know, we changed trains in Berlin, but we continue on that same line to Hanover, and it was very reasonable. So that's where we're going. And it looked like, as I looked at it, it looked like a really nice town.
Yeah,
with
it looks like it's great
old
to visit.
city
And we haven't been to Hanover before.
right.
So.
And then I noticed that somehow that in Hanover, while we're there, we're there Saturday and Sunday. It's the beginning of Oktoberfest in Hanover.
Right, okay.
In Hanover. And then I thought, oh, I wonder if that has something to do with Berlin. Berlin actually starts their Oktoberfest a week earlier than that. You know, it's like the last
so
2 weeks of
so
September and the
expensive.
first 2 weeks of October is Oktoberfest. So I think that's why
Yeah, that makes sense.
in a weekend, and
Right.
that's why
So that's
they were
cool.
so anyway. And I hadn't even thought, even though we're in Germany in October, I hadn't thought Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So anyway, then we take the train on to Amsterdam.
But we don't stay in Amsterdam,
But we spend the first one night there.
Yeah. and we rent another car. Is that right?
And we rent our second car of the trip, and it's only like a 5-day
Uh-huh.
rental, I believe.
And
Yeah.
and so we're visiting Duke's father's family is all descended from one immigrant who came from Holland, right? The Vermeesens.
Yes.
And we know where, and his dad was an avid genealogist, so we know where they lived and everything. So in Holland, we'll visit that. And his mother's family,
And
think
we'll
his
visit
mother's
one relative
Yeah.
that we're going to
Oh,
visit.
right.
Yeah.
and your mom's grandpa came from what was Germany, but is now Poland, right?
Right. So we're
So
going to.
we're going to go through that region too.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. And then I have ancestors farther back from the Netherlands. So anyway,
We won't visit any ancestors because they aren't there.
Well, we might go
I
to
mean-
the graveyard, but that we won't.
No,
find
the
that.
graveyards are gone too.
Okay. So we're going to drive all over the Netherlands, huh? Spend.
Well, yeah, it'll be, you know, we only have 5 days and we want to cover a good deal of the Netherlands. And I knew it was small, you know, I mean, I know how on the map it's, you know, it's small compared, you know, how it
Smaller
is
than
in
Germany,
right,
smaller
in
than
Europe.
France, yeah.
But it never really hit me until I was looking, well, if we go from Amsterdam, we go, which is kind of in the center of the country, I mean, east-west center. If we go all the way to the border to the east, I look up on, you know, Google Maps, how long is that going to take? And it's an hour and 15 minutes. What? We're going halfway across the country. I mean, it really dawned on me just how
Right.
small it is. And of course, the roads are good, and
Right.
you know.
Right, and we looked it up after you did that, and it's if you put it in line by area of the country, if you put it in among the U.S. states, it's bigger than Maryland but smaller than Pennsylvania. Or have I got
There are
that?
41 states bigger and 9 smaller than the Netherlands by area.
By area. But then if you look at population, it would be 5th of all the states in the United States. It has more population than Pennsylvania, but less than New York, I think is what I decided. And it has a population of 17.7 million. So anyway, there's lots to see. It should be fun, just kind of explore the countryside of Holland.
Yeah.
And then we fly out of Amsterdam, right?
That's correct.
All right.
And yeah, flying SAS
Excellent.
again, which we've flown before,
Yep.
at least once.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you
liked it.
liked it a lot, yes.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most for this trip?
Well, I'm just all of it really.
You kind of got the itch, I think. haven't you?
I've got the itch to go because it just seems like it's been a long time, and part of that is, you know, you plan it early and then you want to kind of execute on your plan.
Right,
you know,
right.
You've been waiting, and then there's things that don't work, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and then you finally get all the pieces together. Okay, now we're ready. Let's go. You
Right,
know,
right,
and
right.
now we're just
And-
waiting. You
right.
know. And I think it'll be nice that, you know, we start right away with seeing Roger and Gail. You know, we both arrive the same day, and then we
Right. And
do and I think it's going to be, you know, that first part across Norway is very touristy. We'll just be in a mass of tourists. And then we'll be on that boat, which we know is, going to be relaxing and good food probably, and we've seen the countryside, the
so
scenery,
beautiful.
and it's beautiful.
Yeah, you could see it over and over again.
Then it becomes more of an adventure, like, okay, there's only one bus a day. If we don't,
Right.
if
right.
it breaks down, there's going to be a problem, or,
Right,
or
right.
whatever. And then,
So it's all very different.
and then
too.
there's one new country for us, Finland.
Right.
We've never been there.
Neither of us has ever been to Finland.
Neither, yeah. And most of several countries we've been to just one time. This will just be the second.
Yep.
And then, Germany we've been to multiple times.
Right.
But I think there's...
Yeah, but
we're
there's
going-
lots of Germany we've never visited. Lots of parts
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Germany.
this part we've never...
So it's like a new country.
Yeah, right.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to maybe seeing the Northern Lights, but if we don't, that's certainly not why we're going. And to seeing the ancestral areas, because I like genealogy. And although we won't do any research or anything, we're just going to look for people who look like you.
You really want to do that? Think before you speak, dear.
That would be fine, dear. And then, and my birthday was this past week, and Duke gave me a new camera. It's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so it's going to help me get much more stable pictures.
What kind is it?
DJI Osmo Pocket
Okay.
3.
Does that stand for something?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, so you turn it on like that, and I've got it's got a gimbal built in, so it'll be
Who?
a gimbal, built-in image stabilization.
Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got to learn. I'm learning how to use it. That'll be very cool, and so I'm looking forward to that. We'll start having videos in a couple. First video maybe 3 weeks or whatever, and then so I'm looking forward to that. So if you'd like to follow along, we always enjoy sharing our travels with people. We had 522 subscribers at the start of our last trip. And as of this morning, we've got 742. So if we get the same number on that rate, we'll be knocking on the door
Well,
of
I
1,000.
remember it wasn't that long ago. And it lasted for years. That
Yes,
the
it
goal was
did.
to get to 100.
Yes, and it did last for years.
It took 2 or 3 years, and every one of them counted. Every new subscriber
Yes.
makes my wife happy, and when Marion's happy, I'm happy. When Marion's not happy,
Yeah,
I'm
really
hell to pay.
Yeah, I'm really a grouch. Difficult.
So
to live
please, for my sake, subscribe
with. Right.
if you haven't already.
Yes, because we enjoy sharing it all with you, and actually we do it for the fun of it. So, so I guess that's everything. We'll be on the road soon, and we'll see you then. Thanks.
Yep.
What? Right?
Yeah, I see.
Right.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, bye.